So I'll tell you a little story while we wait to start. About 1,000 and some years ago, 1,300 years ago. Anyway, a Sufi from northern Afghanistan, from a place called Chisht, was asked or told, or it was suggested, probably by a teacher or a guide, go to India. They don't have a lot of Sufis there. I don't know, I wasn't there, so I'm making this up. But anyway, he decided to go. And he made his way to India. He went through the northwestern state of India that is called Rajasthan into the heart, the central north part of India. And I believe he went as far as Delhi. And then he decided he didn't care that much for Delhi. Delhi was the center of the sort of the imperium, where everyone sort of came in and created a kingdom, and then someone else came in and kicked them out and created another kingdom, and someone else came in and kicked them out and created. There were 7 cities in Delhi before Delhi became Britishized and became New Delhi and Old Delhi. So anyway, he went to Delhi and he didn't like the climate or the people, or he liked somewhere better. So he went back to a place called Pushkar, which is near a town called Ajmer in Rajasthan. And he hung out there. There was this lake in Pushkar, and all around the lake were little sort of prayer festivals going on every day, all day, or at least in the evenings. And hundreds of Hindu mystics and what are called pandits who recite prayers and sing chants and so on. So people get together in the evenings with their, around this light or maybe a little fire, and they would ring bells and they would sing songs, and it would all be very, very, very inspiring and atmospheric out by a lake, in the heart, actually, edge of a desert, and beautiful stars above, clear sky, no light pollution. So he hung out there and thought, well, maybe some people will come my way. And so he sat, and some people came by and said, hey, you look like a nice guy, what do you do? He says, what music do you do? I don't do music. So, okay, we'll catch you later. And they went on. So after this happened for a couple of months, I think, being a smart guy, he realized that he had to have music. Or in India, you were not going to attract people. And so he, probably by then, he was a luminous being. His name, by the way, was Hazrat Moinuddin Chishti. He had probably 2 or 3 students who had good voices, and he invited them to sing. And where they started was with phrases of, like sacred sayings. So, not just, for example, La ilaha illallah, but sayings of Prophet Muhammad, sayings. Are you?
I'm trying to catch his eye. He's thinking there's nowhere to sit. Sorry.
And there was this problem also.
Called the madzub.
So anyway, he said to them, hey, sing these things. And so they began to sing. And, first they began to intone them in a serious kind of way, la, 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 and so on, maybe influenced a little bit by the Buddhists who were not that far away. And then he said, just jazz it up a little bit, please. even I'm falling asleep here. So then they began to sing more phrases, and they began to bring a little sway into it, a little swing into it, and gradually more and more people, because now, a drum maybe got added, and maybe a drum or two drums, and maybe even a bell or a reed instrument or a zither, and soon there was a little party going. And so Moinuddin began to get more and more people. And then, as I said, he was a luminous being. Gradually, as more people came, he acquired status and followers. And eventually he had to move from Pushkar to the nearby larger city of Ajmer, where he established the center. And he was the first in India of the Chishti Sufis. And the Chishti Sufis, there are 1,000, maybe 10,000, 5,000 Sufi orders or brotherhoods or organizations. But there were some large ones under which the others were sometimes organized. And Chishtiya became one of the really large ones. And the thing that was common about Chishti was that they embraced music. India was the heart of their spread and their influence, and they embraced music. After Moinuddin, there's this tradition in Sufi orders or lineages that you hand over the cloak or the mantle to the next teacher. And so Moinuddin did that, and then it went to someone else, and then it went to Hazrat Khaja Nizamuddin Awliya, who lived in Delhi. He didn't have a problem with the Sultanate or the kingdoms and the courts. In fact, he had his own court. It was called the time of two courts. And he had this amazing student, disciple, devotee. You choose the word that appeals to you, but this was a man who he belonged in the court, and he roamed the court freely. He was a very polished speaker of Turkish and Persian, and at the same time, he was an absolute, fall down dead before him devotee of Hazrat Khaja Nizamuddin. And he was a musical and a literary and a kind of a playful genius. And so Nizamuddin said to him, maybe, again, I wasn't there, this Qawwali thing that we've started, it started being called Qawl, but then, stories got into it and so on, became Qawwali. He said, the Qawwali thing, I want you to put it on a more substantial, musical footing. And so then, this person, who's this great genius, Hazrat Amir Khusro, he created a small school, a starting group in a small school that were called Qawwal Bacche, the Qawwal children. None of them were kids. You understand? These were all adults. But that's where the tradition of Qawwali kind of cohered into a musical school that centered initially in Delhi and the east of India, and then it moved south also to Hyderabad and spread further around. So the Qawwalis that we sing, my teacher, his name was Miraj Babu, Miraj Ahmad Nizami. He was one of the senior Qawwals at the Dargah of Hazrat Nizamuddin in Delhi. And I had the good fortune to learn some Qawwali from him. As I've said somewhere else, my knowledge is like that and his knowledge is infinite. And that's true. He was an amazingly studious, studied person. But he was from the Qawwal Bacche Gharana. In fact, toward the end of his life, he was the head of the Gharana. And they specialize in Delhi in doing the music, or some of the music, of Hazrat Amir Khusro. And so we will start with a very famous invocatory Qawwali called Man Kunto Mola. Man Kunto Mola is based on a saying attributed to Prophet Muhammad, what's called a hadith, a recorded saying, a verified saying. And the words are Man Kunto Mola, Fahaza Ali un Mola. Whoever accepts me, Muhammad, as Mola, as master or guide, prophet, but more, Ali is their master also. And so among Sufis, many Sufi lineages, this is kind of a credo, because it is seen as an external indication of what Sufis believe to be true, that the internal knowledge, the esoteric knowledge, was passed on by Prophet Muhammad to his daughter Fatima and his son-in-law, Hazrat Ali. So we'll start with that Man Kunto Mala, which it was this hadith that Hazrat Amir Khusro took and sort of framed in a melody, and then he added to it what is called a tarana, which is a little bit like scat, in the sense that the syllables don't mean anything, except that with Amir Khusro you could never be sure that it didn't mean anything. So they do mean something. But what they mean, nobody is absolutely sure. And then it becomes a vehicle for what's called mankabat, which is praise of great personalities, saints, teachers. And so from being this hadith about Hazrat Ali, they then come verses that are called, if they're taken from other poets, they're called gire, and they're added into this song, and together it becomes a mankabat, a paean of praise to Hazrat Ali. So we'll start with that. I think we can start now. If anyone outside there is looking for place inside, there is place inside.
If you have a seat beside you that's empty, would you raise your hand? Please, take a look. There's a lot of seats. There are lots of seats.
And there are a couple of places where people might move one so you could sit next to your beloved if you...
If you have a seat next to you that's empty, please raise your hand.
Yeah, lots.
There's lots.
Oh, I want to say one more thing, and that is that my voice is a mess, and it'll take a little while to come together. So, but it does generally come together.
If you have a seat extra by you, raise your hand. Those
One
of you who
over
are
here.
coming in, please come forward. Please come forward and take a seat.
Seat here, two
There's
here.
two up here in front. There's one over there.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so much. Here, there's one on the other side.
There's one on this side. Ah, okay, he's good.
He's going to go
good.
back. Okay, good.
He's good.
So still one over here?
Thank you all for coming this evening.
Yeah.
We feel blessed to have you, and with your permission, we'll start. Gapada da da pa re ga sa re ga re da re sa sa re ga pa da sa sa re ga re da re ga re sa da pa da pa sa. Ali Ali Imam Masto
Manam Gulam Ali. Ali Imam Masto Manam Gulam Ali. Ali Imam Masto Manam Gulam Ali. Hazar jane girame fidae naam Ali.
Ae man kun to e man kun to mola e man kun Mola, 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 man kun to Mola Fazali Aliyun Mola Fazali Aliyun Mola O man kun Mola, 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 man kunto Mola, hey man kunto Mola, hey man kunto Mola, 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 man kunto Mola, Fazali Mola, Fazali Mola, Dara dil dardani, Dara dil dardani, Dara dil dardani. dani
dara dil dardani.
हमको da na 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 da na 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 re हमको da na 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 da na 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 re ya la li ya la li ya la ya la re ya la ya la ya la ya la ya la 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 re मन कुन तो मौला मौला मौला
मन कुन तो मौला
हे अली मौला
मन कुन तो मौला ख्वाजा अली मौला ख्वाजा अली मौला
दर
दिल दर्दानी दर दिल दर्दानी
दर दिल दर दिल दर दिल दर दिल
दर दिल दर दिल दर दिल दर दिल दर दिल दर दिल
दर दानी दर
दिल दर दिल
दर दानी
दर दिल दर दिल दर दानी.
हम तुम da na 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 da na 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 re da na 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 da na 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 re da na 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 re da na 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 da na na re oh da na na re हम तुम da na 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 da na na re ya la li ya la li ya la ya la
re ya la ya la ya la ya la ya la 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 re मन कुन तो मौला
मौला मौला
मन कुन तो मौला
अली मौला
मन कुन तो मौला
मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला
अली मौला
मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मौला अली मौला मन कुन
तो मौला
हे
मन कुन तो मौला ख्वाजा अली मौला ख्वाजा अली मौला
मन कुन तो मौला मन कुन तो मौला
मन कुन तो मौला
आहे फाजा अली उन मौला मन कुन तो मौला
मन कुन तो मौला
मन कुन तो मौला मन कुन तो मौला आहे फाजा अली
मौला
मन कुन तो मौला फलक बगा में मनस्तो मनम बगा में अली
पलक पगा में मनस्तो पलम पगा में अली
जमी बदा में मनस्तो मनम बदा में अली
जमी पगा में मनस्तो मनम पगा में अली
अली माँ में मनस्तो मनम गुला में अली
अली माँ में मनस्तो मनम पगा में अली
अली माँ में मनस्तो मनम गुला में अली
अली माँ में मनस्तो मनम पगा में अली
अली माँ में मनस्तो मनम गुला में अली
अली माँ में मनस्तो मनम पगा में अली
हजार जान गिरामी फिदा के नाम
अली मन कुन तो मौला
मन कुन तो मौला है फाजा
अली मौला
मन कुन तो मौला मन कुन
तो मौला मन
हैदरी हम कलंदराम असता सततं
वन्दाये मुर्तज़ाली हस्तं
केशवाय तमामरिन्दानं
केशवाय तमामरिन्दानं
केशके कुवेशरे यजदानं
केशके सूर्ययजदानं
मन्वगैरजली नदान सतं
मन्वगैरजली नदानिस्तं
हो वल्ली हसतं
हो वल्ली हस्तं
बाय माले तरी के महबूबा
पाए माले तरीके महबूबा
बाय माले तरी के महबूबा
पाए माले तरीके महबूबा
सर गिरो है कलंदरा हसतं मन कुन तो मौला है फाजा अली मौला मन कुन तो मौला मन कुन
तो मौला
तो मौला मन कुन तो मौला सूरत पे बंद जहां बूद अली बूद
सूरत पे बंद
ता सूरत पे बंद जहां बूद अली बूद ता नक्शे जमी बूद जमा बूद अली बूद शाहे के वसी बूद वली बूद अली बूद सुल्तान ऐसा काबोक करा मौजूद अली बूद आशा है सरफराज के अंदर शबे मेराज आशा है सरफराज के अंदर शबे मेराज बामद मुख्तारिया के बूद अली बूद मन कुन तो मौला है फाजा अली मौला मन कुन तो मौला मन कुन तो मौला मन कुन तो मौला है फाजा
अली मौला मन कुन तो मौला
मौला मौला मौला मौला मन कुन तो
मौला
हे मन कुन
तो मौला
फाजा
अली मौला अली मौला अली मौला दरदानी दर दिल दरदानी
हम तो तना ना 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 तना ना ना रे तना ना ना रे
ना 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 रे
तना रबा मन किंगरी सोरगे भई सब तार तन रबाब my body is an instrument, a lute. Man kingari, my mind is the pick, the plectrum. So rage bhai sabtar, every fiber in my body is a string to this lute. Tan rabab man kingari, so rage bhai sabtar, roog roog sur deta hai. Every atom of my being makes a sound when you play me. So bajat naam tihar, and the sound that it makes is your name. Tan rabab man kingari, so rage bhai sabtar. Tan rabab man kingari, so rage bhai sabtar. Roog roog sur deta hai, so bajat naam tihar. Tanana tanana na re, tanana tanana na re, tanana tanana na re, tanana tanana na re, tanadi 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 dim dim tanana na
If you have a seat next to you that's open, would you raise your hand? There's one up here, there's one there, there's two there. If anybody that's in the back wants to come and sit down. There's one way up here in the front.
If you come and sit up in front, we promise not to ask you to sing.
There's one way over there. Raise your hand again if you have a seat.
Yeah, one here, right here.
One there. Thank you.
I apologize if it's a little crowded. We apparently were not sophisticated enough about the use of the ticketing service, and so they continued to sell tickets after we'd said, please don't sell anymore. And if that sounds like a story,
Well, maybe it is.
you know, there's some cushions
There's
here. If
also
you want to
some
just
cushions.
come and sit closer right here, you're very welcome. There's some cushions here.
Pass them over. Why don't you pass them over to the middle? That'd be great.
The mic doesn't, it's not very loud. I can't hear anything.
Mike's not catching you?
I don't know what he's doing, but it's not.
Brad, can we switch the mic? I can keep them entertained while you do that. I'll tell them another boring story.
You watch the time
There's some cushions right there. Extra
Oh
large.
yeah, yeah.
too. There we go. Just a couple in there. Perfect.
You're very welcome to sing. So, I want to introduce these beautiful people to my left and right. Starting on the left, on the oud, Gary Haggerty. He's a legend in Bay Area music. And he plays with a wide mix of groups and a wide range of music. And anytime you get a chance to hear him, you should. Nina Sharif on the duff. An experienced duff player from Iran. And she's been kind enough to play with us on this occasion. Divya Purohit Vyas. You'll get more chances to hear her very beautiful voice and styling. Saima Jamshed, or Saima J, on Dholak. My immediate right, I love to call her the whirling dervish of Bay Area spiritual music, Bhavani Ma. Bhavani Judith Tucker. Bhavani has a beautiful email newsletter of spiritual music and performances in the Bay Area that goes out every month. And if you'd like to be...
Every week.
Every Tuesday.
You got to make me wrong about everything, right? Goes out every month, sometimes more often. Anyway, so you want to be on that if you want Kirtan and if you want Taise and endless, beautiful, curated list. Jeannie Rana, she's a singer in... I've gotten to know her a little during these sessions, and we kind of like each other. She's a singer in the crescendo choir of the First Unitarian Church in Oakland. Susan Newman, Susan sings creative extempore jazz. And the nearest thing she could find to it was Qawwali. And Ashutosh Vyas, Ashu's sensitivity toward poetry and the language of these Qawwalis is something quite rare. If you were able to come and attend, a session where we're talking through these Qawwalis and singing them and interpreting them, then you see him at his brightest, most delightest. And then Jeff Ulrich on the saxophone. Jeff is a musical prodigy. He also plays with the choirs and the different groups that play, that do music during services at First Unitarian.
Unitarian.
So many languages in Oakland. And you're a keyboard player as well, right?
Piano.
A whole bunch of stuff. And you'll hear him do a whole bunch of stuff tonight also.
Dead.
So the next
Brad.
Dead.
oh, you couldn't hear us if it weren't for Brad.
Da, da, da.
Brad Murphy is a sound technician par excellence and a complete pain in the butt because he's so persnickety about getting everything completely right. But then you end up being so grateful to him because he does get everything completely right. So he's, by the way, he's starting this as a business, and if you have ever need for a sound person for large and small events, Brad Murphy's your guy. M Lab Sound? M Design Lab. Close. Allahu. So, you all know who Allah is. He's well known. Allahu praises the one, Allah, in manifestation. In Arabic, who is the male and the neuter pronoun. And Coleman Barks very skillfully called it the pronoun of divine presence. It's the divine within creation, the light in all forms and beings. So every one of us is a manifestation of Allahu. And I like to think that that is love. We are all creatures of love. So this has a very beautiful descending, ascending melody play, and it was one of the first Qawwalis I learned. It remains one of my favorites. In the descending melody, I experience Hu as the divine coming toward the human. And, Rumi has this line in his poem, I can't say it. I get overcome by this beautiful line.
Breathe.
Okay, thank you. 60 years, and this streaming towards me has never stopped. Yeah, that's the divine. So in the ascending line, I feel the human responding and reaching toward the one, toward the divine. So we'll sing for you Allahu.
taro, kushka chobo, kushka boots, aja kweja.
This is a Mathnavi attributed to Maulana Rumi. The string is dry. The reed is dry. The skin is dry. Where then, from where then, comes this voice of the friend? And then the answer comes.
Neze taro, neze chobo, neze poots, hudba huda,
Not from the string, not from the reed, not from the skin, but always and of itself, there is coming the voice of the friend. Oh Allahu, Allahu, Allahu,
Allah, 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 Allah.
गैर का धोखा मुझको न दे,
गैर का धोखा मुझको न दे,
ओ आहे गैर का धोखा मुझको न दे,
आहे गैर का धोखा मुझको न दे।
तुझ में हूँ मैं और मुझ में है तू, आहे
तुझ में हूँ मैं और मुझ में है तू। अल्लाह 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 अल्लाह।
Don't pretend you're not here, you know it's not true.
Don't pretend you're not here, you know it's not true.
Your disguise is my eyes, you dissolve in the view.
Your disguise is my eyes, you dissolve in the view.
But you are in me and I am in you. Allah.
Allah, 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 Allah,
जिसने देखा मर ही गया,
जिसने देखा मर ही गया,
ओ वो तो मर ही गया, वो तो मर ही गया,
वो तो मर ही गया, वो तो मर ही गया।
ओ तेरे चश्मे सिया में है जादू,
तेरे चश्मे सिया में है जादू।
अल्लाह
अल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह।
एक दिन कैसे से ले लिए माहिरू,
एक दिन कैसे से ले लिए माहिरू,
ओ बोली मेरे सिवा किसकी है जुस्तजू,
बोली मेरे सिवा किसकी है जुस्तजू।
वक्त में आके की कैसने गुफ्तगू,
वज्र में आके की कैसने गुफ्तगू।
राज की बात है खैर सुन माहिरू,
राज की बात है खैर सुन माहिरू,
ओ राज की बात है खैर सुन माहिरू,
राज की बात है खैर सुन माहिरू।
ओ ना तो मजनू हूँ मैं और ना लैली है तू, बस अल्लाह
अल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह
अब तू ऐसी पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना,
ऐसी पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना,
ओ तू भी ऐसी पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना,
तू भी ऐसी पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना।
ओ अब तू पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना,
पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना,
ओ तू भी ऐसी पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना,
तू भी ऐसी पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना।
आहे खून जिगर से करके वजू, आहे खून जिगर
से करके वजू।
अल्लाह बनाया काबे को जिसने उसे भी देख लिया, तवाफ करना पड़ा खुद ही खाने काबे का, मगर इस उम्मत ऐसी को मर्तबा ये मिला, तवाफ राबिया बसरी के खुद गया काबा, ये शान रखते हैं दुनिया में मुस्तफा वाले, ऐसी पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना। अदा नमाज को हम आसियों से क्या होगी, अदा नमाज को हम आसियों से क्या होगी, नकल ही करते हैं हम सब नमाज रोजे की। बुरा ना मानो तो कह दूं अभी खुदा लगती, अजान दे गई हजरत बिलाल की हस्ती, नमाज पढ़ गए दुनिया में करबला वाले।
ऐसी पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना,
हो तू भी
ऐसी पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना,
हो अब तू ऐसी
पढ़ ले नमाज़े फना।
आए खून
जिगर से करके वजू,
आए
खून जिगर से करके वजू।
आमिल प्यारे आमिल तू, आमिल प्यारे
आमिल जो,
अब आमिल प्यारे आमिल तू,
अब आमिल प्यारे आमिल दो।
आहे हर गुल में है तेरी बू, आहे हर गुल में तेरी बू।
आमिल प्यारे आमिल तू।
Come, meet me. Come, meet me, dear one. Oh, come now. Come.
अब आमिल प्यारे आमिल तू, आहे हर गुल में है तेरी बू।
Come. Every flower is used with your perfume.
आमिल प्यारे आमिल तू,
आमिल प्यारे आमिल तू।
अब
आमिल प्यारे आमिल तू,
आहे हर
गुल में है तेरी बू।
आहे
हर गुल में है तेरी बू। अल्लाह 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 अल्लाह
अल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह अंतल हादी अंतल हक
अंतल हादी अंतल हक
आहे लैसिल हादी
इल्लाहु आहे लैसिल हादी इल्लाहु अल्लाहु 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 अल्लाह अल्लाहु 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 अल्लाहु
अल्लाहु अल्लाहु
अल्लाहु अल्लाहु अल्लाह।
हज़रत इश्क ने ये करम है किया, हज़रत इश्क ने ये करम है किया, ओ ये करम है किया, ये करम है किया,
ये करम है किया, ये करम है किया।
ओ पीरो मुर्शद में आया, नजर खूब खूब पीरो मुर्शिद में आया नजर खूब खूब पीरो मुर्शिद में आया 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 Getting a little warm.
Yeah.
We could open that door.
Let's
And
the-
this door.
Yeah,
Why
let's
don't-
open both the
yeah.
doors. Get a little cross ventilation. There's a lot of us breathing.
Is there someone in the room next door, though? No?
No?
Yeah, we want to not upset their...
Thank you. Thank you.
पीरो मुर्शिद में आया नजर खूब खूब. That great saint, love, performed this miracle for me. Hazrat-e Ishq ne ye karam hai kiya. That great saint, love, performed this miracle for me. He appeared before me as my deep, my root, my great teacher. Allahu, Allahu. Manifestation gives you what you want, or at least what you need. So the next song is again a composition of Hazrat Amir Khusro, a very famous one. Some of you might know it. And it is about the glance, the look, as she something like that. So it's about, yeah, it's the Qawwali version of the look, the glance. And the verse, the chorus, the key verse is Chhap tilak sab chhini mose naina milake. And it's such a killer line, because chop is, we used to have chops. They still probably have them in some places. Seals that you carved with your own special squiggle or hieroglyphic, and then that was your signature before people could sign. They had chops. So chop is a chop. And chop, tilak. Tilak is the mark that Indian women put on their forehead when they are married. Chap tilak sab chhini mose naina milake. You stole away, you snatched away, you grabbed. And he says, my chop and my tilak, which I translate roughly as my authority, my chop, and my respectability. You stole my authority or my identity and my respectability when you made our eyes meet. So that's the key line, and then beautiful verses composed around it. Hazrat Amir Khusro, in addition to being a Turkish scholar and a Persian scholar and a poet and a composer of amazing riddles, and I mean riddles of so many different kinds. He composed riddles of kinds that only women said to or told and asked women in private circles. Like, for example, he came upon me in the middle of the night and flustered me completely. I was sweating, I was beside myself, I didn't know what to do. Tell me who, girlfriend? And the answer is, a fever. So there was in India, this tradition of these puzzles or riddles that only women asked women. Men were not allowed. But he used to compose them. Delightful ones. So, a polymath and a great, great musician and poet. So where are we? Chap Tilak. अपनी छब बनाई के मैं जो पी के पास गई ओ अपनी छब बनाई के मैं जो पी के पास गई अरे जब छब देखी पीहू की मैं तो अपनी भूल गई So this couplet, they're called mukhras or faces, the openings of Qawwalis. It's the presenting face to you, what you open with, but it's not usually a part of the Qawwali. It's a special verse. So this couplet is not composed by Hazrat Amir Khusro, but it contains in these 2 lines or 4 lines what I consider to be the whole message of mysticism and Sufism. And it says, Apni chhab banai ke, main jo pee ke paas gayi. I made myself so beautiful and then went to see my beloved. So imagine, right? You make yourself really, truly beautiful. You do your, you do a mani-pedi and you do your, and what else, I won't go into detail, but you guys know what you do to make yourself beautiful when you go to see your beloved. And she says, I made myself so beautiful and went to see my beloved. When I saw the beauty of my beloved, I completely forgot my own. It's right there. The message is that, in front of the One, we don't remember anything. No self, no beauty, no separateness. As the Christian mystic Meister Eckhart says, for God to come and visit you, you have to not be home. So, अपनी छब बनाई के मैं जो पी के पास गई, जब छब देखी पीहू की, when I saw the beauty of my beloved, मैं तो अपनी भूल गई. I completely forgot my own. छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे ना मिला के, छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिला के, नैना मिला के मोसे नैना मिला के, नैना मिला के मोसे नैना मिला के, छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिला के, छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिला के, नैना मिला के मोसे नैना मिला के, नैना मिला के मोसे नैना, बल मारे मोसे नैना, सयाली मोसे नैना, कुतुबुद्दीन नैना मिला के, छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिला के, छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिला के। मैं जो गई थी देखन बदरिया, मैं जो गई थी देखन बदरिया, खाजा पिया के संग लड़ गई नजरिया, मोसे नैना मिला के, छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिला के, छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिला के। हरी हरी चूड़ियाँ गोरी गोरी बैया, 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 वाके गोरी गोरी बैया, वाके गोरी गोरी बैया, वहाँ पकड़ धर ली रे मोसे नैना मिला के, वहाँ पकड़ धर ली रे मोसे नैना मिला के। बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरे रंग रिझवा, बल जाऊं मैं तोरे रंग रिझवा, बल बल जाऊं, बल बल जाऊं, बल बल जाऊं, अरे बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरे रंग रिझवा, मैं तोरे रंग 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 रिझवा। अपनी सी हो, अपनी सी हो, अपनी सी हो, अपनी सी रंग दी रे मोसे नैना मिला के, अपनी सी
सब छीन रे मुझसे नैना मिला के
ओ मोसे नैना ओ मोसे नैना ओ मोसे नैना मोसे नैना मोसे नैना मोसे नैना मोसे
नैना मिला के छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मुझसे नैना मिला के छाप तिलक सब छीन रे मुझसे नैना मिला के
खुसरो दरिया प्रेम का सो उल्टी वाकी धार
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 जो बरा सो डूब गया जो बरा सो डूब गया जो डूबा सो पार
नैना मिला के मुझसे नैना मिला के नैना मिला के मुझसे नैना मिला के
Khusro, the river of love, runs curiously. It runs upside down, it runs backwards, it runs inversely. Whoever gets across loses. Whoever drowns in the river of love wins. Naina mila ke
मुझसे नैना मिला के नैना मिला के मुझसे नैना मिला के
प्रेम भटिका मदवा पिलाई के प्रेम भटिका मदवा पिलाई के प्रेम भटिका मदवा पिलाई के प्रेम भटिका मदवा पिलाई के मोसे मदवा पिलाई के मोसे मदवा मदवा पिलाई के मोसे मदवा पिलाई के मतवाली 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 कर दी
रे मुझसे नैना मिला के मतवाली कर दी रे मुझसे नैना मिला के
छाप तिलक छाप 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 छाप तिलक
chop chop tilak
खुसरो बाजी प्रेम की मैं खेलूं पी के संग खुसरो बाजी प्रेम की मैं खेलूं पी के संग जीत गई तो पिया मोरे जीत गई तो पिया मोरे अरे जीत गई तो पिया मोरे जीत गई तो पिया मोरे हारी तो पी के संग नैना
मिला के मुझसे नैना मिला के नैना मिला के मुझसे नैना मिला के
So Khusro says, I play a game of love with my beloved. I play a game with my beloved, and if I win, my beloved is mine. And if I lose, I'm my beloved's. Naina mila
के मुझसे नैना मिला के नैना मिला के मुझसे नैना मिला के
हमारी दुनिया बदल के रख दी, नजर का मिलना हुआ बहाना।
हमारी दुनिया बदल के रख दी, नजर का मिलना हुआ बहाना।
हमारी दुनिया बदल के रख दी, नजर का मिलना हुआ बहाना।
हमारी दुनिया बदल के रख दी, नजर का मिलना हुआ बहाना।
हमारी दुनिया दुनिया दुनिया,
हमारी दुनिया दुनिया दुनिया, हमारी दुनिया
दुनिया दुनिया, हमारी दुनिया दुनिया दुनिया। इधर ये दुनिया उधर वो दुनिया, यहाँ पे दुनिया वहाँ पे दुनिया, कहाँ की दुनिया लेके आ गए सबकी दुनिया दुनिया दुनिया। हमारी दुनिया बदल के रख दी, नजर का मिलना हुआ बहाना। इधर निगाहें मिली किसी से,
इधर निगाहें मिली किसी से,
अरे इधर निगाहें मिली किसी से,
इधर निगाहें मिली किसी से।
उधर ये दिल बन गया निशाना।
नैना मिला के मुझसे, नैना मिला के, नैना मिला के मुझसे, नैना मिला के।
मैं देखत रह गई, मैं देखत रह गई, मैं देखत रह गई, मैं देखत रह गई, मैं तो देखत रह गई, मैं तो देखत रह गई, मैं तो देखत रह गई,
मैं तो देखत रह गई, मैं तो देखत रह गई, मैं तो देखत
रह गई। बैरागन कर दी नीरे मोसे नैना मिला के, छाप तिलक सब नीले मोसे नैना मिला के। मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना मिला के, मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना मिला के, ओ मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना मिला के, ओ मोसे नैना, ओ मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना, मोसे नैना मिला के। अपनी छब बनाई के मैं जो पी के पास गई, अपनी छब बनाई के मैं जो पी के पास गई, अरे अपनी छब बनाई के मैं जो पी के पास गई,
अरे अपनी छब बनाई के मैं जो पी के पास गई।
जब छब देखी पीहू की, अरे जब छब देखी
पीहू की,
अरे जब छब देखी पीहू की, जब छब देखी पीहू की, अब जब छब देखी पीहू की, मैं तो अपनी भूल गई।
नैना मिला के मोसे, नैना मिला के, नैना मिला के मोसे, नैना मिला के।
चाप तिलक सब तिलक सब छीन छीन, तिलक सब छीन छीन, तिलक सब छीन छीन, तिलक सब छीन मोसे नैना मिला। With my teacher, I've sat in on a 1.5 hour version of that song. There are so many gira, there's so many verses that you can put in there from hundreds of different poets. And there was someone in the group who was challenging my teacher a little bit. So he kept coming up with new verses. And his verses were a little common. In India, you say bazari, which is, heard in the marketplace.
From the bazaar.
And then my teacher would respond with this beautiful, subtle, elegant verse. And this went on for an hour. So the whole thing, an hour and a half. Just chop tilak. So one day, maybe we'll do it.
So you said I get to read a poem now.
Yeah. So I didn't tell you, but this lady who I've gotten to know during during the practice for this, she's a poet, and so she's going to read one of her poems for you, and you can breathe a little bit and relax into it. Jeannie Rana.
This is called Open Me. A door with no walls. A door with no walls calls out to us all. Open me, open me, open me. I am the portal to the world beyond winds. I am the edge, the end of the path. I am the gingerbread door in the woods. I am the entrance to Old Ferry. You don't need a guide. You don't need a key. I am your door. Open me. A door without walls in a summer field calls. Open me, open me, open me. You are a wanderer. You are alone. I am your home. Open me. A door without walls in the halls of your mind calls out in the night. Open me. I am the answer to all of this pain. For an attitude change, open me. A door without walls at the edge of the lake calls out on the breeze, open me. I am the entry to the watery world. Put stones in your shoes, open me. A heavy wood door in the wall of my heart calls out in the dark, open me. I am the beginning and I am the end. I am the friend. Open me.
We're going to close this half, or this part, with a very contemporary Qawwali, composed not that long ago by the great Indian musician A.R. Rahman. It's called Kun Faya Kun. Be, and it was. The words of creation.
Ya Nizamuddin Auliya,
Ya Nizamuddin Auliya,
Ya Nizamuddin Sarkar,
Ya निजामुद्दीन
कदम बढ़ा ले, हदों को मिटा ले, आजा खालीपन में पी का घर तेरा, तेरे बिन खाली आजा खालीपन में, तेरे बिन खाली आजा खालीपन में। रंगरेजा 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 हो रंगरेजा, कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन, कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन। जब कहीं पे कुछ नहीं भी नहीं था, वही था वही था वही था वही था।
जब कहीं पे कुछ नहीं
भी नहीं था, वही था वही था वही था वही था। वो जो मुझ में समाया, वो जो तुझ में समाया, मौला वही वही माया। वो जो मुझ में समाया, वो जो तुझ में समाया, मौला वही वही माया। रंग रेजा रंग मेरा तन मेरा मन,
रंग मेरा तन मेरा मन,
ले ले रंगाई चाहे तन चाहे मन,
ले ले रंगाई चाहे तन चाहे मन।
सजरा सवेरा मेरे तन बरसे, कजरा अंधेरा तेरी जलती लो, कतरा मिला तेरे तन बरसे, कजरा अंधेरा तेरी जलती लो, कतरा मिला जो मेरे दर बरसे। ओ मौला मौला कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन
फाया कुन
फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन। हो मुझ पे करम सरकार तेरा, अर्ज तुझे कर दे मुझे, मुझसे ही रिहा। अब मुझको भी हो दीदार मेरा, कर दे मुझे, मुझसे ही रिहा, मुझसे ही रिहा। मन के मेरे ये भरम, कच्चे मेरे ये करम, लेके चले हैं कहाँ मैं तो जानू ना। तू है मुझ में समाया, कहाँ लेके मुझे आया, मैं हूँ तुझ में समाया, तेरे पीछे चला आया, तेरा ही मैं एक साया। तूने मुझको बनाया, मैं तो जग को ना भाया, तूने गले से लगाया, सच तू ही है खुदाया, सच तू ही है खुदाया। कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन। था वही था वही था वही था जब कहीं पे कुछ नहीं भी नहीं था वही था वही था वही था वही था कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन सदकल्लाहु वलीउल नज़ीम सदक रसूलुल नबीउल करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम
सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम